Hello, this is Stella, and I'm doing this video for you, Kazia, because you were asking about the Tyvek. This is the Tyvek. It's a very strong material, which I believe they use for building houses. And I've not seen it over here, but Nina sent me this, and I tried it out with my harvest journal, and it worked really well. So I've made this very tiny journal, which I did just with white paper that I cut in half, and I made a little cover for it. This cover is I made it out of my cat box, so I just cut the shapes to fit the paper, just so there's a little overlap. And I made a spine. You can make that spine obviously as big as you want. And so now we're going to put the signatures. This is one, this is another one. Excuse the light, but it's dark here and I've really struggled to get anywhere near decent. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry, I'll try harder next time. So now I've put the signature on the Tyvek, leaving about 1.5 inches, which isn't crucial, at the side here, and I've pinned that down, and I'll do the same the other side. But the main thing now is to stitch down that crease. So I'll stitch down the crease and then I'll show you what we do next. See, there's a dreadful shadow. Let's see if I can make it any better. It's really not good, is it? Well, if I could hold the lamp with one hand and sew with the other, all would be well. But of course I can't do that. Perhaps that's slightly better. There we are. And when you sew, it's a good idea if you sew a little bit of the back stitch first, because that will secure it. So I'm starting not there but there, so I can go back and then forwards, and that's about in the middle. Right, so that's back. Now I'm going to go forwards. You see how I've secured the signatures with these little clips? You don't want pages to shift while you're sewing. So there they are. So what you've done now is you've sewn the signature to the Tyvek. So now I can take these off. Cute little things, aren't they? I just love these little doodahs. So now you've got the signature well sewn in, and if you fold it over like that, you've got this bit of Tyvek. So now back to the cover. I'm going to put this into the spine. So you see there's the spine. So the first signature, which is this one, is going to go right in there, as near to that line as you can make it. See, so hold that still, and then I'm going to secure it again like that, right near the edge, and the same this end. Right, so now do you see you've got that as so, and then you would put your duct tape. I've used ordinary packing tape because this is just a demonstration, but if you're doing it for real, you'd use the duct tape and you would then secure that down so that's not going to shift once you've done that. So that's your first signature in. When you've done them all, you can then cut off the extra flap and secure this side down. So depending on how wide your spine is, you see you've got room for quite a few there. But don't forget, if you're going to have quite a bulky journal, you don't want the signatures too close together. So instead of putting it right there, you might want to leave a little bit of space like so. Okay, so now what I would do, so if that's one signature, that would be, you put the duct tape in, but obviously you're going to do more. So that's the thing. So we don't need that for the moment. But you see how nice and tight and neat that is. So now for the second one. This lamp's now in the way. You're now going to secure that about there. And this side, same. You've got to give yourself room to sew, because you're now going to sew down there. That's a little bit big. That would make for a big journal, so let's move it up just a little bit. Is that better? Yes, that's better. That's better. It's a bit fiddly, but it's worth taking your time at this stage. And if you do the same this side, so again you're going to end up with something like that. Okay, you've got the first one in there, this is the second one. So now I'm going to sew that one. So that's your second one in. You see? A little gap in between each one. I can see it behind there. That worked well, didn't it? I'm glad something did. So that's the second one in. And then you would go on with your other two, or however many you wanted. Best probably not to have too many pages in each one if you're going to sew, because then it's going to be difficult to sew through, depending on what thickness your paper is. So, assuming I'm going to stop at 2, I'll then cut that off. So let me cut that off. Say if you're doing this for real, you can be a little bit more particular. I'm using my special scissors that I use for sewing, because this is quite tough. So now you've got a flap either side. And whether you've got 4 signatures or 2 or whatever you've got, that's what you then do. So that will then go in the middle, right in the middle of the signature, and the spine on. There we are. If I hold that down, like so, and like so, and then you do the same the other side. This time, of course, you're putting the clips near to the line, not farther away, because you're not going to be sewing, you're going to be sticking. And then you'll stick that down. There's another neat trick, so I'll go and get this sticky tape. So assume that this is the duct tape. And then you'll stick that down. Okay, so that's one side. And when that's secure, then you'll come to the other side. So if you use duct tape, then obviously it's going to be very strong. But this isn't, this is just sticky tape. And you'll do it with a nice straight line. So that way you've got it firmly put in. And what I did with my harvest journal was I used a bit of sari silk down the middle between the signatures to hold it in. I wonder if I could do it with a bit of string. Found some ribbon instead. So assume that's the sari silk or whatever you want to use. You then put that between the signatures, turn it over. Wouldn't it be nice to have 3 hands? Or someone else's finger. Right, there we go. Let's tie a bow in it, make it look pretty. Oh, that didn't work. Start again. Okay, so now you've got a pretty bow. And that, of course, you could do between each of the signatures, but it holds it nice and flat. So you see that one you could even do another piece of tape. You can put as much tape as you want. But this, the good thing is that this is not going to come off of the Tyvek. And it's a hell of a lot easier than stitching it in, because when I stitched mine in, I found that I stitch through the duct tape and then my needles get really sticky. And it is quite frustrating. This way, I found this was much easier. So there you go. So you can put maybe 4, 5, 6 at the most signatures in, depending on how big your spine is. And it looks very neat. You could even put a different piece of sari silk or ribbon in between each one of the signatures, and that would look really nice, wouldn't it? So there you are. I hope that's helped, Kazia. And so I'm now looking forward to your efforts, all of you. Bye-bye.